I've been spending my day looking for recipes because I eat a lot of couscous, eat a lot of rice, I use a lot of herbs and things like that. And so I'm looking for a little change up. I'm looking for a little bit of excitement in my food and how I prepare it. So I did get some cookbooks from the library, and I've been looking through the recipes, and I found quite a few good ones. So this is 175 best instant pot recipes. Now, I don't have a deep fryer, but I do have a crock pot. Now, I don't know if that's the same thing as an instant pot. I doubt it. But I'm not sure. I'm old school, so we'll see. But anyhow, so I am going to use a lot of these recipes in my crock pot, which may or may not be an instant pot. Now, I'm not sure because I have a rice cooker, so I do have that. And, you know, there's so many fangled names for these things that I can't keep up with it. Well, I have a crock pot and I have a rice cooker, okay? And I cook my couscous in my rice cooker. I also cook my vegetables in my rice cooker. So, instant pot meals. And I was thinking, well, I need some. So, this was one of the books that I picked up. And it's by Marilyn Hagen. And it's for a programmable electric pressure cooker. I don't think I have that. I have the rice cooker, so that might be what it is. Maybe it is. But the recipes in here are like amazing. So I've gone through, and these are all recipes that you can make in an Instant Pot. And I'm going to say my rice cooker is an Instant Pot, just for the hell of it, okay? Okay, so I can, I've got a few of them picked out, and I put these little tabs in. So, steel cut oats with strawberries and cream in an Instant Pot. Yeah, wow. That's one of them. Maple cinnamon quinoa, breakfast quinoa. Yeah, so that's another one. I'm just going to tell you a few of them. Monkey bread. Now, monkey bread has got butter, brown sugar, but I'll use ghee and I'll use jaggery. And I do have walnuts. I bought walnuts the other day for this. I have lots of cinnamon. I have lots of salt. So I have everything I need for that. It's called monkey bread. It's going to be so good. Apple pie coffee cake is another one that I'm going to make. Maple caramel glazed cinnamon coffee cake. My mom used to make coffee cake, and she could cook a storm. Like, she could cook. Then there's roasted garlic hummus. That's another one. Let's see a few of the other ones that I have here. Slow braised ham with maple mustard glaze. Don't they just sound amazing? Okay, so salt caramel pots de crème. You know those little pots that you can get and you put them in the oven? I can't remember what they're called. The little tiny ones, and they give you like a little custard. So I'm going to try that. That's one of the custard ones. And the cherry dump cake, because it just sounds so easy. It's got walnuts. It's got a 6-inch spring foam pan. I have a non-stick cooking spray. I use olive oil. What else? Cherry pie filling, and absolutely any kind of, you know the tea biscuit, a thing that you can buy from the dollar store, the tea biscuits? So you put the tea biscuit powder, and then you put a can of cherry pie filling in together. It's called a cherry dump cake. I can't wait to try that one because it's so easy. So that's in this one. And I'm going to take it back to the library. I'm going to photocopy them. I'm going to put the plastic sheeting on it, and I'm going to slip it into an upright cookbook box that I'm going to make, and I'll show you that. But these are just going to be recipes that are quick and easy, and that I won't have a hard time getting the ingredients. So that's one of the books. And it's so much fun to do this. There's also, I don't know what happened to all my markers. I had all my markers in here. So, Delicious Soups. And this one is by Belinda Williams. Now, I did have, there they are, okay. I picked out some butternut squash. Okay, this one's called Leek and Potato Soup. leek and potato soup. And see, I put the little thing there with the page number, so that all I have to do is open it up and then I can photocopy it. And then I did buy a squash. And I did tell, I subscribed to Whispering Willow Farms, and she was talking about, as was Jessica from Roots and Refuge, those girls can cook up a storm. And so I'm learning. I've never made squash soup. I have tasted it, and I love it. I love carrot soup. I love all those kind of soups, really thick, right? And so she was talking about a squash soup, and so I did find a recipe in here with ginger and turmeric and squash for a squash soup. And so I pulled it out. Now I've got to try to find where the paper is. Here, hang on. Butternut squash soup with orange and ginger. Sorry, I was wrong, with orange and ginger. And wait till I show you what it looks like. Wait till I show you. Isn't that amazing? I can't wait. I can't wait to try that. So I'm going to try that one. I do have a squash, a butternut squash, and it was cheap. It was under $2. So I'm going to try it. And, if it turns out tastes good, then, that might be one of my go-to recipes. Okay, what's the next one? Oh, yeah. So the next one is pumpkin soup with mushrooms. Now, I won't put the mushrooms in, but it's pumpkin soup. Look at that. And it's squash and pumpkin. So I'm looking forward to that. So there was only 3 soups in there that I kind of marked, because I do a lot of soups, and I'm pretty creative with it, so I don't need that many, but I did take 2 of those recipes. Now the last one is a slow cooker, and I have a crock pot. I have a slow cooker. So, and this is called Slow Cooker Revolution, and this is by, I have no idea, America's Test Kitchen. It doesn't give an author name. Doesn't give an author name at the beginning of it. Well, isn't that well? Huh. But it's by America's Test Kitchens. And I picked some there too. And it's all soups, right? So old-fashioned chicken noodle soup. Old-fashioned, look at that. Doesn't that look yummy? Looks yummy. Anyway, the biggest part of this soup one, is that I want to learn how to make my own bone broth. Chicken bone broth and beef bone broth and vegetable broth and things like that. So I want to learn how to make it, and I'm not the greatest at it. I do use oxo cubes, but they are pure sodium, and so I want to steer away from that, and I want to actually get the goodness from the bones from the beef or whatever that I'm using, or the chicken. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I picked this up. But there's so many soups, like tortilla soup with those tortilla chip crackers in it, butternut squash chowder. It tells you, this book is amazing. This book is amazing. I have to take the thing off. So at the bottom of the page, it shows you how to cut a butternut squash. I had no idea. So it shows you how, and it gives you directions right there. So I just thought I gotta photocopy that, and I want to try it. So right beside it, there's a cauliflower soup. I'd like to try that. What other one? Okay, and a curried chickpea soup. So I eat an awful lot of chickpeas. Awful lot. I eat them just like that other can. I put them in my soups. I make cream chickpea soup. I make hummus with them. I use chickpeas all the time. And they were on sale at the grocery store for $1.59. So I got a couple of cans while they were on sale. So that's one of the things I'm going to make. What's the other? What else did I put? Okay. When I was a kid, growing up, and we were low income. My mother was a single mom, and things were tough. I was raised in the 60s. Things were tough, and I remember when we moved to the farm, my mother used to make dumpling soup. Yeah, dumpling soup with chicken and dumplings. Oh my God, it was good. It was so good. I don't know why my eye looks black there. Anyway, chicken and dumplings, and so I thought, you know what? I want that recipe. So I found it. Old-fashioned chicken and dumplings. They don't have a picture of it. I wish they did. Oh, wait, is that it? No, they don't have a picture of it. Nope. But I mean, think about it, right? Dumplings, light and fluffy dumplings floating around in a pot with big chunks of chicken and broth in it. I mean, it's really good. It sounds amazing. Carrots, bay leaves, frozen peas, which I have, parsley, I have, chicken, I have. Now, all these recipes talk about vegetable oil. I don't use vegetable oil. I don't use any of those oils. Virgin olive oil is all I use. And so anytime that there will be vegetable oil, I will kind of sub out the vegetable oil for olive oil. So anyway, and the pictures are the pictures of the meals in here are just amazing. There's also a thing in here, how to make your own tacos, those little things, and I'm going to learn how to make it. So that's another one of the things. And then there's a ground turkey and chipotle taco filling. So how can you not want that? How can you not want that? So this was another one of the cookbooks that I picked up, and it's a good cookbook. Yeah, they even tell you how to cook French toast casserole. Yeah, French toast casserole for breakfast. Yeah, if you have a big family gathering. There's also Irish steel cut oats with cinnamon and raisins. I bought raisins. I love oatmeal. Steel cut oatmeal, I haven't cooked it for a long time. It takes a long time, apparently. It takes a long time. It takes 8 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 2 cups of steel cut oats. Yeah. You cook until the oats are softened and thickened, 4 to 6 hours on low. And then you let it sit for 10 minutes. And you can refrigerate it in an airtight container for up to 4 days. Now, my mom, when she used to cook oatmeal, we didn't waste anything. We were poor, and we believed in being frugal, right? And she never wasted anything. She could make a meal out of anything. And that was just my mom. That was just the way she was. Anyhow, she would take the leftover rolled oats and she would fry them up. I remember her having cinnamon and brown sugar on them, but she would fry them up, and they were so good. They were so good. They tasted like pancakes. They were just amazing. Seriously, I remember back in the day, and I thought it was so amazing. My mom would make milkshakes with eggs. Yeah, she would put 2 eggs in a blender. She would put in some vanilla. She would put in some whatever flavor she had, and she would blend it up. And if we needed the protein, which I had 3 brothers growing up, and so they needed a lot of protein, right? And they were all fairly well-built young men, and and I remember drinking that, and we loved it. And I remember her putting carnation milk in, a little bit of carnation milk in it, and it was bloody amazing. You have no idea, it was bloody amazing. So poverty and growing up in those times when there isn't a lot on the table, it teaches you to be frugal, but it teaches you to be creative. And so I think that's an aspect of my personality that I'm glad that I inherited from her, because my mother was a very strong, very resilient woman. She'd been through her fair share of hardships in her life, and who am I to judge anyone? I couldn't judge anyone. So I look back on those times, and I don't look at it as, we were poor, and oh my God, we didn't have this and we didn't have that, and poor me, poor pitiful me, right? That old song. I don't look at it like that. I look at it at the fact that I'm strong. I've been through hell and back, and I'm still alive. I'm resilient like my mom. I hope I am. And I'm creative. She taught me to be creative. I can make a meal out of anything, and I can bake. I learned how to make my own homemade bread. Mind you, it was my mother-in-law who taught me to do that. My mother-in-law could take, She could take a couple of cups of flour and she could make like 20 loaves of bread. That woman just rocked. She rocked in the bread category, I'm telling you. Homemade bread in the wintertime on a wood stove, you can't beat it. I miss that woman. I miss her cooking. She was very easygoing. She was very, she was amazing, an amazing cook. So the bread making and how I learned that at an early age, I contribute to my mother-in-law, who has since passed. And, you know, that's one thing about her that I will remember. I will definitely remember her meals. Those easy over eggs in the morning with the home fries and the homemade bread and the baked beans. It was a treat. Trust me, it was a treat. But all my kids learned to make bread at an early age. I did have a community group at one point in time where the children in the neighborhood who were of lower income, which I was, even when I was raising my kids, I was lower income. And we had a social group where they would come to my house and I would teach them to make bread. So I have basically passed that knowledge on from my mother-in-law to a lot of the neighborhood kids where I raised my children. A lot of those kids came to my house and we made boxes and boxes of bread and cinnamon buns and twisters and tea biscuits, all sorts of stuff. And we donated it to the food bank. And, you know, it was a wonderful thing for them. They all took a little treat home. I think I had about 20 kids there. And we made, every one of us, they all made bread. They all got their hands in and got their hands in all dough. And they all took a couple of loaves of bread home and a couple of bags of twisters and cinnamon buns. And it was an amazing day. We went at it all day. And the kids absolutely loved it. So, you know, if you're out there and you're thinking, what can I do for the kids in the neighborhood? You know, teach them those basic skills. Teach them skills that they will take into their future, into their lives with them. And you never know, the way the world is going now, you might need to know how to cook from scratch. So that's not a bad thing. So to my mother-in-law, Christine, I thank you. You have contributed in quite a large way to a lot of children in this world. So I shall see you in the next video. The good Lord be willing. Bye. Keep baking. Bye.